In a couple of hours from now, the Prime Minister will tell us when we will vote on the Voice to Parliament. It'll be a 6-week campaign, no doubt brutal at times, but the beauty of this is politicians don't get to decide. You do. The Prime Minister will launch the Yes campaign in Adelaide amid dwindling support, it has to be said. As debate has raged over the last few months in anticipation, Australians have found more of a reason to vote no than yes. So the question for the Prime Minister and the Yes campaigners is, can it be turned around? Live now to Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, what can we expect today?
Well, the Yes camp is saying, Laura, more than 400 people will attend this rally, the official launch of the Yes campaign in Adelaide. It's going to be in a working class suburb of Elizabeth, and that is a crucial signal that the Yes camp knows they need to win the suburbs right across the country if they want to win this referendum. The Prime Minister will use this event today to announce finally the date that Australians will head to the ballot box to decide on whether we do enshrine an Indigenous voice to Parliament in the Constitution. The PM will be there alongside senior Labor figures, the South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas, senior Labor Cabinet Ministers Penny Wong, Don Farrell and Indigenous leaders. But the polling is crucial to remember here, that the Yes camp has a bigger task ahead of it in order to get a referendum to succeed in this country. I'll show you the latest news poll, the state of play as to where we're at. Expect a lot more polling right in the lead up to what we expect to be October 14. As you can see here, overall, the Yes camp is not in a majority. You can see a big camp of undecided, but they would need to swing right in their favour. And the crucial state breakdown matters. In order to get a yes vote, they have to win at least 4 of the states. You can see WA and Queensland at the moment, majority no. So you'd only need 1 more to flip to no, and that would mean this would not pass. This is the reaction we've seen this morning, Labor's Malarndirri McCarthy and the Deputy Opposition Leader Susan Lee.
And I think it's like any grand final. You just go in there with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of optimism and a lot of hope. And you go, you know what, Australians, we're going to be knocking on your doors. We're going to be talking to you wherever you are.
Unless Australians understand that detail, I think they're going to be hesitant. So my appeal to anyone watching is seek out the detail. You might find it. I certainly haven't.
This will be pretty different from what we see at a federal election, though.
It certainly will, Laura. We're not going to see the Prime Minister today driving down Dunrussell Drive to the Government House. It's just going to be a formal exchange of letters, and it doesn't actually have to happen today, I'm told. And also, he's not going to be hitting the road every day. This is not going to be the traditional buses across the country and mystery planes. He is going to be focused on the business of government too. Parliament's back for the next sitting fortnight. He's going to be going overseas. So there's a lot of other things that are going to be happening at the same time we see this campaign blitz. But also the pictures you can see here, this is very different than what we see if this were a federal election. Bill Shorten, the former Labor leader, campaigning side by side with Greens leader Adam Bandt. This is part of a Yes camp strategy to try and make this a bipartisan, where that's possible, matter for voters, that this is not just Labor MPs spruiking the voice, that you can see there, Greens on board. We've seen Malcolm Turnbull, the former Liberal PM, he's been side by side with Labor's Tanya Plibersek. A concerted strategy here, Laura, to try and broaden this, to look bipartisan, even if the actual Liberal leader, Peter Dutton, and the Nationals leader, David Littleproud, don't support this.
Yeah, that's right. So rivals, we've seen Penny Wong and Julie Bishop in Perth, and we're going to show you some pictures of Tanya Plibersek and Malcolm Turnbull in Sydney this morning as well. But Trudy, what's the latest from the No camp?
Well, Laura, I'm told they're not going to be having a sort of rival rally today if this were a federal election campaign. That's often the strategy to try and steal the limelight away from the other side. No camp, the senior campaigners, including Warren Mundine and Jacinta Price, they're in Tasmania today. I'm told Peter Dutton will be doing something we expect later today, but not confirmed exactly what that is, and don't expect him standing in front of a huge crowd and trying to steal the limelight from the Prime Minister. This was Jacinta Price, though. She says the No camp is up against it, particularly when it comes to just how well-resourced the Yes side will be.
It is absolutely a David and Goliath effort. We've got thousands of volunteers coming on board. It really is going to come down to that ground game in the lead up to the pre-poll and to referendum day itself. We are not going to be complacent whatsoever. The polling might be looking good for us, but there is absolutely no reason to be complacent.
So expect the PM to announce October 14 as the date. When can you first go and actually cast a ballot? Well, not until 3 weeks before, Laura, and that is only for the AEC is going to reach out to remote communities. And for every other Australian, pre-poll opens 2 weeks before referendum day.
Okay, good to know. Trudy, thanks so much. And Sky News will have live coverage of that referendum date announcement at the official Yes 23 campaign launch. That's at 11:30 this morning, and that will be live in Adelaide.